Hello, and welcome to my office. This is the first poetry exercise by video that I'm going to offer, and it's based on a poem in Jennifer Lee Tsai's pamphlet Kismet, which came out from Ignition Press last year, and which I recommend to you. It's the very first poem in the collection, so it really kind of sets a tone for what's to come, and it's a prose poem. Right? And you see, if you can get a good look, that it's a prose poem that has slashes in it, which is kind of a new innovation with prose poetry, a way of playing with punctuation to work with and against the effects of prose's fluency. So in the midst of the fluency of the prose paragraph, you have these kind of juddering pauses that suggest the jumping of from one thought to another. Or so that's my first interpretation. This first poem I'm going to read you is called Self-Portrait at 4 years old. I am the smallest one in class, the only Oriental at a primary school in Birkenhead. At 4 years old, I learned to read better than a child twice my age. My first school uniform, gray cardigan knitted by an aunt, gray skirt, gray like an English sky, yellow and brown tie, shiny clerk's shoes bought by my grandfather, with money made by washing dishes in a restaurant kitchen. In the playground, I hear something I don't understand, an occasional refrain. Chinese, Japanese, don't forget to wash your knees. First school photo. Mother reminds me to smile for the camera. I don't tell her that I never feel like smiling at school. I am learning to be silent. I'm learning to keep secrets. I am learning how to be alone. At home, I read fairy tales with my mother. Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Rapunzel, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Only Snow White has black hair. Her eyes are brown, like mine, but her skin is white. What color is my skin, Mama? I listen to nursery rhyme records on my father's turntable. Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Back from the casino, Father laments my love of books, my pleas to buy them every week. Because in Cantonese, the word for a book sounds like the verb to lose. I put on my best smile for the camera. So that's one approach to a poem as a self-portrait at 4 years old. So an autobiographical approach, personal, but focused by kind of focusing on a particular age for the speaker. The second poem I want to read you is another self-portrait poem, but this time, instead of being directly autobiographical, it's much more kind of whimsical and much more playing with the idea of the speaker's name. The poet is Claire Crowther, and the poem is called Self-Portrait as Windscreen, playing on the meaning of Claire as clear. And it comes from her pamphlet Molecule that was published by 9 Arches in 2010. Self-Portrait as Windscreen. Do you think I'm clear on every issue just because I'm glass? Have you heard yourself calling Claire, 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 Claire when you're confused? A name is lulling when you aren't clear on every issue. So your favorite phrase, let's be clear on this one thing, is the public face of Claire, Claire. I see you everywhere, using my nature, hardened from soft, imagining you're clear, fired, made to soften, harden again. We're laminated, The crack that comes won't shatter us or your calling. So you see, that second self-portrait, it focuses on playing on the author's name, on Claire and its association with clarity, to take that little step and imagine herself as a windscreen for the course of the poem. So what I want you to do in this exercise is to think about your own self-portrait, to either do something autobiographical, such as self-portrait at a particular age, perhaps self-portrait at 15, rather scary in my case, or perhaps self-portrait in the form of something. It could be something like the play Claire makes on her name, or it could be something that you feel represents you somehow. Self-portrait as tiger, self-portrait as dandelion. So that's your task, if you choose to accept it, to write your own self-portrait, either something autobiographical or something that plays with some aspect of your personality that you can run with in a poem. Good luck.